We are live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the BioAge Reset. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your Thursday night to be here with us. We are so excited for what's happening and what's in store for you tonight. And I hope that you guys came ready with questions and ready to learn. But I have been with Shackley. My name's Allie. I have been with Shackley for over a year now, and I honestly found it at the perfect time. I was freshly postpartum, breastfeeding, and a full-time ICU nurse, and I was just flying by the seat of my pants. But throughout the last year, I have experienced greater energy. I felt way more present with my loved ones while in the midst of a very full season. My runs have felt stronger. I have had smoother recovery and just honestly feeling better in my 30s than in my 20s in a season that has asked a whole lot of my body. So, from the start, I have just been blown away by the intentional science, the clinical studies behind this company. And tonight we'll be talking more about that as well as the launch of our brand new groundbreaking longevity product, Vivix Plus. You've probably seen me posting a lot about this. I am so excited. It is already changing how people experience aging, and I cannot wait for you to hear the evidence behind making aging backwards at the cellular level possible. So, before we begin, I would love to hear where are you tuning in from, who invited you here, and what are you most excited to learn about? We are so excited to have you here. So before we start, I do just want to do a brief introduction of Leslie and I. So I'm Allie. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a full-time mom to my sweet and very on-the-move 15-month-old son. I'm a nurse coach, and my mission is to help people restore from the root out through nervous system regulation and cellular restoration. The verse John 10:10 actually anchors a lot of my mission because it tells us we were given this gift of life in abundance. And I just want you to think about what life could look like if we could boldly accept and walk in that gift, like truly experiencing the vitality of living life abundantly. And I'm going to pass it over to Leslie to introduce herself.
Hello, you guys. My name is Leslie. I currently live in Dallas, Texas. I have been a full-time ER nurse for 6 years and a wellness mentor and ambassador with Shackley since October of 2024. In working with healthcare and being on my own wellness journey, I have made it my personal mission to promote healthcare over sick care, actual healthcare, and preventative habits over disease management. I have been through a lot with my own wellness journey. I started my weight loss journey at 240 plus pounds, and I have become more passionate in preventative medicine and helping everyone all around the world, wherever we can reach them, live life limitless, whether that's the limits that you place on yourself in your subconscious and your conscious mind, or limits that other people have placed on you as well. But I'm so excited to be here with you guys, and I'll have Allie continue taking it away.
Love that mission so much, Leslie. So good. So tonight you're going to hear about the proof behind the promise, yes, promise, of living 11 years younger. But tonight, I don't want you to think about it's not about fighting the aging process, but it's actually understanding aging in a way that most of us are really never taught before. So getting older doesn't have to be a negative. But there are ways that we can actually influence how aging manifests in our lives and keeping our energy, presence, and health vibrant through the decades. So let's talk about two components of aging. We have your chronological age. So this tells us how long you've lived. This is the number of candles on your birthday cake. This is fixed. You cannot change your age of when your birthday was. But then we have biological age. And this one tells us how well you're living. It tells us how your body, your cells, your organs are functioning, and it reflects the cellular damage and the physiological decline related to aging. This one can be influenced. There are different ways that this can be accelerated or slowed down, and that's what we're going to focus on tonight. So what influences our biological age? Well, we have things like our chronic stress levels, our genetics, different lifestyle choices, diet and nutrition, exercise, and our environment. So, different pollutants and toxins that our body is taking in and having to respond to. So it may not be a surprise to you guys that the longevity movement is booming right now. People are focusing more and more on longevity. They're optimizing their health. They aren't turning to quick fixes as much anymore, but really actually creating sustainable long-term routines that support healthy aging. More people are tracking their health through Apple Watches, Aura Rings, functional blood tests. They're investing in red light therapy, IV drips, microneedling, non-toxic products, supplements, cold plunges, saunas, gyms, etc. You name it. I probably missed several ones in there as well, but let me know in the comments which ones have been a part of your life. So, the mission of Shackley and what our mission overall is to empower people to look, feel, and live younger today and tomorrow, to live age free. And this isn't an empty promise or just general wellness wishes, but this is actually the driving force behind the research, the intentionality, the testing, the transparency, and the efficacy of what is being created here and what we get to share with the world. So here's what a lot of people don't actually realize is that while the rest of the world is recently discovering the science behind longevity, Shackley has actually spent the last 70 years building expertise and credibility in longevity science. We are the most clinically proven wellness company in the world. Dr. Shackley, who's our founder, he was a chiropractor and a nutritionist. He invented the first multivitamin in the US in 1915. He started our company in 1956, and since then, we have spent $500 million in research and development. We have over 120 clinical studies, including 3 robust longitudinal studies that span decades. We have over 80 patents and patents pending, and there are no other products out there like ours because of that. We have a 30-day empty bottle money back guarantee, and we have a less than 0.003% return rate because when people try our products, they actually work and they don't return them. And on top of that, a third of our customer base have been using these products for over 30 years. I can't even think of a product that I have used for a decade, but these people have been using them for over 30 years because they have impacted their life so much. And we have ambassadors all over the world, which I think is so cool. So tonight, our message is deeper than products. It's about the promise, upgrading your biology and not just managing your decline. That is a hefty promise, but that is one that Shackley intends to keep, and we really hope that you find here. When you upgrade your biology and give your body what it needs, you can lower your biological age and you can allow your body to function in the way it was always designed to.
All right, you guys. So I'm going to walk you through the longevity study with Shackley. So we did something that no one in the industry has ever done. We did the first of its kind clinical study on our very own Shackley community. People who have been living on these products for years and years and years. We just celebrated 70 years with Shackley. They didn't ask anyone in the study to change anything. People who have already been using these supplements and how they've been living. There were 235 participants, ages 37 to 91 years old. And here's what they found. They calculated that their biological age, so the age of our body, the age of our cells, the age of how our organs are functioning, were 11 years younger than their chronological age. The number of candles on your birthday cake. Some of these participants were nearly 20 years younger. So tonight we are going to share how the BioAge Reset Stack is proven to reduce your biological age by 11 years. So I'm 31. What would I do? What would I do to feel 11 years younger, 20 years old? Okay. Yes. Sign me up. My favorite part at the bottom is that people were more socially connected. And here's a little bit of a reason why, or why I think this happened. Because when you have more energy, when your body is performing well and you feel like you're living younger because you actually are, you're more likely to say yes to going, to doing, to visiting all of the people and doing all of the things. And that social connection is something that I know a lot of us are craving. I know I am, but this is our BioAge Reset Stack. We're going to go deep into detail in the coming slides, but all of these products are staples in my house. So a little bit of background on what I have been using. I started using the Life Shake and the original Vivix formula in October of 2024. I added in the personalized vitamins and liquid collagen last summer, so maybe about a year ago, when I started diving into overall wellness, training for half marathons, and all of the things. And the difference that I have felt in my body and my training and my recovery over the last year or almost 2 years now is absolutely unmatched.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It is when I tell you, my husband and I have been using different wellness products for years, hoping that they were doing something. But when we switched to these, we've been using the Life Shake and the Liquid BioCell and the vitamins for the past year. When we switched to those, we knew that they were doing something, and it just reaffirmed to me not all supplements are created equal. The distinction between hoping and knowing was something that I had to experience to believe, and that has been the bottom line game changer for me. So I am so excited that they have created this stack of all the things that have truly transformed our lives. So we're going to step into a little bit of science real quick. So stay with us for a little bit. But as we age, our bodies are fighting two battles. The first battle is damage. Our cells are exposed to stress every single day. Some of that comes from completely normal processes like creating energy, but cellular damage can also be increased by things like UV exposure, air pollution, and cigarette smoke, chronic inflammation, poor sleep, excessive alcohol, metabolic stress, including things like chronically elevated blood sugar, oxidative stress, and free radicals. And over time, these stressors can damage our DNA. They damage our proteins, cell membranes, and the mitochondria. These are the structures that our cells depend on to function properly. Luckily, our bodies have incredible repair systems, but that repair work requires resources. So that leads us into battle number 2, depletion. One of those resources our body needs for that repair work is NAD+. So NAD+ is a coenzyme that cells need to help convert nutrients into cellular energy. It's also used in DNA repair, cellular stress responses, and maintaining healthy mitochondrial function. With aging and metabolic stress, NAD+ availability can become altered and reduced in certain tissues. Simultaneously, processes such as inflammation and DNA repair can increase the NAD consumption. So, in other words, you have less NAD and it's getting rapidly consumed. So, why does supporting NAD matter? Think of NAD like a currency your cells need to get work done. When your NAD is available, cells are more efficiently able to produce cellular energy, support DNA repair, manage stress and inflammation, and support mitochondrial function. So the goal isn't simply that you need NAD in order to be younger. The goal is to support the cellular machinery responsible for energy and the maintenance and repair so that our cells are better equipped to handle the stress they encounter over time. I'll pass it over to Leslie.
Okay, you guys, I'm way too excited about this, but I have my notes to make sure that I don't derail too much. But Vivix Plus addresses both defending your cells and cellular energy. So, how many of us have claimed to try literally everything out there for an energy boost or even to feel normal again? That was me too. Most supplements and add ins on the market only address half the problem. So, okay, let's just throw more energy at you. But that's surface level energy. This is something that we're talking about that goes way deeper. Our NAD is cellular energy, how your body functions, how your cells function, how your mitochondria functions. And remember, if you took a biology class, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So let's talk about it. What is in Vivix Plus? So our original Vivix formula is the polyphenol blend with resveratrol, which defends our bodies against the oxidative stress that we talked about, that Ali talked about, and inflammation. The other two powerhouses in Vivix Plus is our NMN and apigenin. So NMN is the precursor to NAD, that cellular energy, that total body energy that we're looking for. It's like a step one. So you wouldn't go out with a goal to run a half marathon or a marathon and start day one training day with 13 miles or 26 miles. That is just like the initial dump. It's too much. You need a step one. So just like dumping NAD into your body through IV infusions or other supplements that claim to boost your NAD doesn't work for the long term either. Even if you get that IV drip, you get that instant bolus of NAD and then it goes away. So NMN is our step one to increase our body's NAD levels, and apigenin preserves your NAD levels against something that's called CD38. That is an enzyme that is naturally in our bodies, and it increases as we get older, aka the aging. So as that CD38 increases, our NAD breaks down. And that's why we lose more natural energy when we get older, because of that CD38 breakdown. So essentially, we have this leaking bucket. We are throwing all these things inside, but there's holes at the bottom. The surface level energy promises that might work for a little bit, but then at the end of the day, you need more and more and more to get that same feeling. And we want more long-term energy and longevity too, right? So there are three ways that your NAD is breaking down and burning out, like the oxidative stress, lifestyle, diet, the increase and breakdown of your NAD with that CD38, and the decrease in our natural production of our NAD levels. So essentially, you're just pouring endless water into a bucket where it's just holes. But what if you could seal the hole first? So think of like the flexi tape guy who would come on your infomercials and he would stick his Flex Seal tape over it and then take his boat out on the water. That's what we're doing with our Vivix Plus. We're going to seal the holes. I promise I'm not the bearer of just bad news. We're going to seal the holes, and let's pull it all together to show you how our body naturally has those holes as we age. In order to seal those holes, fill the bucket and let it overflow, we need all of these things working together. So something to help increase our NAD, our energy, something to help stop the breakdown, and something to support inflammation and aging at the cellular level. And that's what Vivix is. So this next slide, there's a lot of information on it, but I want you to screenshot this. If you're a nurse, or you know a nurse, or you know a doctor or a healthcare worker, and ask them how impressive this is. So Vivix Plus is clinically proven to impact all 12 hallmarks of aging. Let's just pull some of my favorite parts from here. Science nerd, okay? My favorite part, number one, is it prevents telomere shortening. So when our cells age, that's when we start to age, and it happens way before we actually notice it. So telomeres are like the end caps on your shoelaces, those little plastic things. And when those break down or go away or you lose them, your shoelace starts to unravel. And that's what's happening in your cells as well. And that's where we get aging. Another one of my favorites is a double-digit decline in inflammatory markers. So like your CRP levels, if you've gotten recent blood work done, that shows inflammation in your body. And what we usually notice is inflammation on the outside of our body. We feel so puffy. Our face feels puffy. Our total body just feels puffy overall. So this is going to decrease those inflammation markers, tongue twister, but also give you those results on the outside as well. And then, of course, your mitochondrial cellular energy is going to be increased with this. So our mitochondria is a powerhouse of the cell and helps turn the food and oxygen that we take in into energy that our body uses for everything. Workouts, recovery, brain function, our hormones, and simply getting through the day. And as we age, our mitochondrial function can decline. And that is one reason why supporting our cellular health matters so much. It's not just for having more energy for today, it's having more energy for the long haul. Okay. So Vivix Plus, these are the proven claims. The clinical studies showed that there is an increase in VO2 max without exercise. So when we usually think about how healthy we are, we think about things like blood pressure, our blood sugar, our cholesterol, other lab work markers, right? But there's another number that deserves a lot more attention than it's getting. VO2 max. It's a measure of how efficiently your body can take in oxygen, move it through your bloodstream, and use it to create energy. And it matters because our cardiorespiratory fitness is one of the strongest markers that we have associated with long-term health and longevity. So people with higher VO2 max levels, death, it's not just about living longer, but maintaining that capacity to stay active and independent as we age. So that's what caught my eye most of all, especially for the way that I train and the way that I want to live and feel. So instead of just thinking like, okay, I'm watching my blood pressure, I'm watching my cholesterol levels, let's look at VO2 max. So if you have a wearable, if you have a Apple Watch, a Garmin, maybe your Oura Ring does it too, find your VO2 max and send it to whoever invited you to this call to see where yours is and see how we can increase it. So with 2 months of using Vivix Plus, people were able to see a 3-point increase in their VO2 max. And they were able to walk 80 meters further after 2 months than other people who were not using it. 80 meters is like almost a football field, right? Yes. But that is equivalent to what you would essentially lose in 8 years without using any supplement. Your VO2 max would decrease by 3 points in 8 years. So I absolutely love this. And then the study also showed that we have 35 times more usable NAD versus IV infusion. So like we talked about, that IV infusion is going to give you that bolus of NAD and then it crashes. Not only is this 35 times more effective, but their NAD levels stayed higher as well. So I'm going to pass it back to Allie and she'll talk about the other parts of our BioAge stack.
Amazing. Wow, I totally nerded out on that. I love hearing the science behind it. But we are going to pivot from Vivix and talk about collagen. So when we think about collagen loss, we think mostly wrinkles and skin appearance, which is true, but also collagen supports how we move, feel, and age. So if you feel more stiff getting out of bed and there's more sound effects when getting up and down, it's actually a sign of collagen loss. Collagen is the largest structural unit of the body, and we lose 1% a year by our late 20s and 30s. By 40, we've lost up to 15 to 20%. By 60, up to 70% is gone. AKA, we feel the joint discomfort, the aches and pains, slower digestion, brain fog, changes in our strength and recovery, wrinkles, etc. All of these are signs of aging that have occurred well before we even recognize these symptoms. So let's talk about Liquid BioCell Life Plus. This one is one of my favorite products that I went from skeptic to full belief in. But most collagens on the market focus on one part, just adding more collagen into the body. Liquid BioCell Life Plus is a hydrolyzed type 2 collagen that works on 3 key areas. You're adding more collagen to the body, but you're also protecting the collagen that you have, even through the decline with aging. And you're stimulating your body to produce more of its own. So you're protecting, you're adding, and you're stimulating more. It is absolutely going to help with hair, skin, and nails, but this type 2 collagen also has hyaluronic acid and chondroitin. That is what your joints are made of. So it is specifically going to support mobility and joints, and just overall how you're feeling throughout your day-to-day life. And this is actually the only collagen on the market to be able to claim to support bone density. Women, this is huge for us because we are at a much higher risk for osteoporosis and fractures because of all the hormone shifts that we experience throughout our life. And now we are going to talk about muscle. Muscle is the organ of longevity. The strongest predictor of how well you age is how much muscle you keep. Let me know in the comments if you're familiar with that. But lean muscle helps maintain metabolism. It helps maintain healthy blood sugar, healthy body composition, and mobility. So being healthy is not about how thin you are. It's actually about how much muscle you can maintain. And after 30, of course, you start to lose that. We actually lose about 3 to 8% of muscle per decade. When muscle declines, your biological age accelerates. Your metabolism slows, your body composition shifts, it becomes harder to stay toned no matter what you do. And most people actually never connect those changes to what's actually driving them. Let's talk about protein. Protein is one of the most powerful longevity tools we have, and it's actually one of the most underconsumed nutrients for women in midlife. Life Shake is not just a protein shake. It's formulated to be non-inflammatory with 0 grams of sugar and no seed oils. It's clinically proven to boost GLP-1 levels in just 30 minutes, helping to support that healthy blood sugar level. That way you have no spikes, no ups and downs or crashes, and it keeps you feeling full. It's actually equivocal to a full meal with fewer calories. And thanks to the leucine that it contains, it is clinically proven to help you burn fat and build and maintain lean muscle to prevent that reduction in muscle as we age. It's formulated intentionally to support metabolism, gut health, hormonal health, and immunity. It has 20 grams of high quality protein, 6 grams of fiber, 25 essential vitamins and minerals. This isn't about adding more effort. It's simply about giving your body what it needs to keep doing what it was designed to do. And it is just so freaking good. I love Life Shake. And this last one is actually one that's often underestimated, but so necessary. But first, I need to clarify, there are 3 massive longitudinal studies out there called the Cosmos studies. So if you're a research nerd like me, these have proven over and over again that multivitamins are not expensive peas. So if you've heard that, if you're believing that, take it out of your mind, because we have 3 massive studies that will tell you otherwise. But they are actually a key factor in living well now and into old age. People can eat really well, they can exercise consistently, but they'll still have gaps. And it's not because they're doing anything wrong, but it's because our food supply just doesn't deliver what it used to. So let me highlight a few statistics real quick. Nearly 70% of Americans are deficient in vitamin D. 54% are deficient in omega-3, but 98% of us fall below the optimal target of omega-3. 50% are deficient in magnesium. So why does this matter? Because vitamin D is actually crucial for immunity. It lowers our biological age by 2 years, and it decreased dementia rate by 40%. A deficiency in vitamin D3 actually accelerates brain aging. Omega-3 keeps your arteries flexible, and optimal levels have shown a 90% reduction in sudden cardiac arrest. And magnesium, optimal levels support your bones. Deficiency leads to reduced bone density and increases your fracture and osteoporosis risk. So these are so important. You do not want to be having a gap in these vitamins. And these specific nutrients that support longevity, protect your brain, calm inflammation, support your gut, and help your body actually repair itself overnight are almost impossible to get from food alone. And Life Essentials is one daily pack that makes sure to cover those gaps. We have our high potency methylated multivitamin with 23 vitamins and minerals, a full spectrum omega-3 for your heart and brain, triple magnesium for deep restorative sleep and nervous system recovery, and clinically proven probiotic for your gut and immune system, and a brain performance capsule called MindWorks. This is clinically shown to enhance short-term memory and focus by 3 times. This was specifically designed to accompany Life Shake.
All right, you guys. So there are a few different ways that you can get started. And I really want to emphasize that this is not a one size fits all. You don't have to start with everything. We can always customize this based on your goals, your lifestyle, and what feels realistic for you. So before I walk through these options, I want you to think about how you've been feeling lately. Is it your energy that's bothering you? Do you feel like you're doing all of the right things, but you're still not feeling your best? Are you wanting to move better, recover better, feel stronger, or just feel more like you again? Maybe your body is aging faster than you want it to. It takes you longer to get up in the morning with more side effects. And that's where we will find your solution. What does my body need support with right now? For me personally, of course, I picked the full BioAge Reset stack. Number one, I got my blood work done. I want to prove the 11 years younger, but I'm also a full-time nurse. I work long hours. I have responsibilities at home, and I ask a lot of my body. So I need to make sure that I'm supporting it well. And deeper than that, like I said, I'm 31 years old. I don't have children yet, and I want to be around for as long as possible, and not just a long time, but a good time too, to say yes to them. And for my future grandchildren too, for years and years to come. So let's break down the stacks. You can screenshot these slides. But what are you currently spending $10 a day on to feel good? On days that I'm rushing out the door, I'm off my game, but I have a little bit of time to stop at a gas station, I'm grabbing something that has protein, a protein bar, a bottle of water, and then maybe another snack. It sustains me until probably an afternoon crash, and I've probably spent $15 at this gas station. For $10 a day instead, you can upgrade your biology. You'll get 20 grams of clean protein, double your cellular energy, improve your focus and mental sharpness. That's what I need. And optimize key nutrients that your body needs, that your bones need, that your hormones need support with, and get you back to feeling how your body was designed to feel in the first place. And I know for me, sometimes I'm like, I didn't know my body could feel like this until I started taking these supplements. This is another option for $8 a day. This is our cellular reset stack. And I think of this option as someone who wants to focus on what's happening at the cellular level. So for $8 a day, you can have the Vivix Plus with the liquid biocell. You're going to take 1 tablespoon in the morning and 1 at night to support your cellular energy, healthy aging, joint support. And then the Vivix Plus is really the key anchor here to show improvements in cellular aging in just 2 months, and then pairing it with the liquid biocell, because longevity just isn't about what's happening in the cells. We also want to think about our joints, our cartilage, our connective tissue, and our bone support. Because what is living longer if our body doesn't feel good enough to do what we actually want to do? Okay, we're 90 years old, but we have all of these assistive devices, and our family is coming to visit us because we can't get up and go visit them. That is my goal. That is the end game for me. Or for $5 a day, I told you we have something for everyone. This stack focuses on giving your body the nutrients and protein it needs to function well now, while also supporting long-term health. So the Life Essentials is going to fill your nutritional gaps. And like Ali said, it's not because we're doing anything wrong. It's the way that our food is designed and processed now. And we need extra things to support our energy, our brain health, our heart health, and overall wellness. And then you'll also have the Life Shake, which gives you 20 grams of protein, powered by leucine, which is that key activator to tell your body, let's turn this protein into a muscle making factory for our bodies, which helps boost our metabolism, improve our mobility, and our independence long term as well. So I would think that this is a great starting point for someone who's like, I know I need to get more consistent with my nutrition. I know I need vitamins. I've had vitamins sitting on my shelf for years and years and years, meaning like thinking that I need to take these, but maybe you weren't feeling anything when you take them. Try this stack for you, because longevity doesn't have to start with everything all at once and doing everything perfectly. It starts with these simple add-ins that change the game forever. We also have 2 bonuses going on for this month, the month of August. You can add creatine for only $10. I think it's like $38, but you can add it for $10 with any of those previous bundles in the US. And if you're in Canada, you can add in our clean caffeine for only $13 if you're in Canada. But screenshot those, ask the person who invited you here how to get plugged in with those bonuses. And the last thing I want to talk about is the share and earn. So these are the highest payouts that I have seen in the health and wellness space specifically. I've been a part of a lot of ambassador, affiliate links, sharing your code, sharing all of the things. And I think it's easy to get caught up in, let me just get all of these things and see what helps. If you are looking for an extra source of income to just cover your supplements or maybe fill the gas tank, think about becoming an ambassador with Shackley. And when I first started, I just thought about the people who I was in a group chat with, the people you travel with, the people you work with, your family. And usually in that group chat, the conversations are always the same. I'm exhausted. I feel off. I feel less confident. We need to do another challenge. I need to get back on my game. I feel like I'm doing all of the things, but I am just so burnt out. If that is the conversation, invite your friends to do this with you. 2 ways. You have your give 10, get 10 referral option. So you share your referral link, they get $10, and you get $10 in your Shackley account. Or if you decide to do the full-blown ambassador route, our goal, if you choose this route, is to make sure that you are at least making what you are spending in products that you love. The opportunities are endless. And if that's something you're interested in, reach out to whoever invited you and we can chat about what that looks like for you as well. But this is our BioAge Reset. We are kicking off our accountability group all together on September 1st. And now I just want to open the floor for questions, comments. What did you love most? We want to hear it all. Way to go. Oh, yes. I love the energize. Looking through all these comments.
I know. Thank you guys so much for hopping on tonight. I know that was probably a lot of information and you may still be processing, but if there's anything that stuck out to you or something that you think you heard but you're not totally sure, reach out to us. We just love to talk about this. Like, we're happy to have any conversation with you guys. Just making sure that you're fully aware of everything and you feel like you are making an educated decision one way or the other. We have truly been blown away by what these products have been able to do in our lives and the lives of our loved ones. And so we are here for you, and we just want you guys to experience that too, however that might look.
Yes. And then in our BioAge Reset kickoff group, we'll have a Facebook page for everyone who does have Facebook. And then we'll do a Instagram chat too. I like doing Instagram chats just because I'm on Instagram all of the time, but I know a lot of people don't have Instagram. So there will be a Facebook group if you have a friend who has Facebook, or you can just make a profile to join that group. We would love to have you there. It is so much easier to share tools and resources and ask questions and interact with community in Facebook. But yes, I am so excited. Do you guys have any questions? We don't want to keep you too long. I forget it's a Thursday and not everyone is off random days in the week.
Heather, I'm going to shout you out. I am so excited for what this journey holds for you, and you can totally start getting your products paid for. I love that you've stepped into this role, and Penny, you're the best. I love your testimony. It is so beautiful, and yeah, I'm just so grateful that these have made such an impact on your life.
Yeah. Heather has taken a huge step out of her comfort zone. She is sharing every day, and I'm just so proud of her. She's running. She's running. I love it. I love it, love it, love it.
Yes, crushing it.
All right, you guys. Well, we'll hop off. You can leave any questions under this video link, and we'll come back and answer them too. But thank you so much for being here, and we'll chat with you guys later. Bye.